back to A Tale 3 Cabins, everybody. It's late fall and we're on the cusp of winter. We got a couple nice days here. I'm going to start prepping the garden for next year. So if you remember, I built the garden. I had these removable panels that I put in here. Make it easier to get the tractor in and out. And I want to till it up before the snow starts flying. I went through, pulled up all the weed block except this little section here. I had little stakes in there. I try to make them all accounted for so they don't get tilled up or end up in any of my tires. Grabbed all the tomato stakes, looked for little rocks and anything that the tiller just wouldn't have a problem with going through there. It is very nice retilling something that's already been tilled prior, like this spring. It just it goes a lot smoother. You're not expecting any surprises, no tree stumps, no roots. And I gotta say, this garden was probably one of the best gardens we had in about 20 years. It really surprised us. We really got a lot of tomatoes out of it, cucumbers, pumpkins, peppers. It really did well. I was very happy with it. I wasn't expecting too much being the first year, and maybe the soil wasn't treated properly. But I think that the chickens did their work in there, and then the added bonus of the chicken poop coming from the coop every now and then, I think made everything work out good. So having 1 year down with this garden, I am looking forward to next spring because everything's all ready to go. We can just till it up and start planting. I am going to cover up that water tank with something decorative. I thought about putting some lattice around it to keep the sun off of it so you don't get algae growing in there. And then maybe we could have some bean plants growing on the outside. Got the fence back up and this came out nice. The soil looks really good, and since I've got that tiller attached, I always try to combine projects when I have a certain attachment on. So I'm going to go back to my pole barn area and do a little work over there. Going to put the tiller on a little bit of an angle. I'm going to make the right side a little bit lower than the left so it kind of digs into the area that I need to cut out some dirt. So a few videos back I was talking about the pole barn area here, and the ground is not very level. If you're looking at the pole barn where the front door is going to be, or the main door coming in the back left corner, and then if you compare it to the front right corner, it's about 20 inches different. Now I certainly don't plan on making that difference up and just moving dirt, but I did come in here thinking I'd move a little bit from the high side over to the low side. I did ask opinions on the best way to go about prepping for this pole barn, and I got those opinions after this part of the video. So I'm going to change it up here in a little bit, but this is how I started. The dirt is not as bad as I thought. I've been working this area probably all last year and a little bit of the year before that. Trying to get the tree stumps out, digging them out with the backhoe, reflattening it out, keeping it clear, just kind of prepping this area, and it's tilling up pretty good. There's still some tree roots in there here and there, but all in all, it's not bad. So a little comment about the loader. Most everybody probably buys their tractor with the loader on there, and it almost becomes like if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I probably use this loader a little bit more for things than maybe there's other options available. I'm just more comfortable with it, but right now I'm just kind of back dragging a little bit of this dirt. I'm going to try to pack it down. Like I said, I'm not going to move a whole bunch of it right now. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I should probably take out the box blade. So I thought it over. I didn't see any need for the tiller anymore, and I'm gonna go grab that box blade. Plus I gotta do a little driveway work too. I gotta admit, for this application, I'm not well versed with the box blade. Not sure what angle I should have it on for this type of application. Just kind of experimenting, and I run into a couple issues here that I'll show you in a little bit. So if you're trying to level this area and you're starting with an area that's not very level, and your tractor follows the contour of the ground and the box blade is going to move up and down with the contour of the ground, it makes it very difficult to level things out. Moving this dirt around is similar to when I put the joint compound on drywall. The more you seem to play around with it, the worse you get. You can kind of see here as you travel on the ground and you start changing the way the contour is and the box moves along with your tractor, and it's very hard to make things level. As always though, it seems like with most of my tractor projects, things start looking bad at first and then they slowly start coming together and then turn out, halfway decent. So we're getting there. So you really don't want to move dirt unless you have a lot of time for it to compact or compress, maybe a year's worth of time, unless you're going to really pack it down with some heavy equipment. I didn't move a lot of dirt, and I plan on to keep working on this area, packing it down. But the advice that I got was to take out the dirt from the high side and put that in a pile and just set it aside, because you're going to need it once this pole burns up to dress it up all around the area that you've treated. And then come in with like a mixed stone, or we have like recycled concrete here, or road recycled, and that packs really well. So I'm going to get a bunch of loads of that eventually, and I'm going to work at it in layers. I'm going to get a compactor, and in between the layers I'm going to compact it, but right now I'm just going to take out the high side of the dirt. Just a little update, it is mid-December right now. I'm still waiting on my variance. I got a call a couple days ago from the trustees in our township, and they postponed my variance meeting, which was supposed to take place in January, and now it might be pushed out to February and maybe even later. So I do have time to work on this. I'm also going to need to clear a little area leading to our creek, because I'll probably put a sewer in there and also have drains for the gutters. So a little bit of prep work. Hopefully the weather's going to hold out. I'll get some nice stretches here and there that I could take care of that. And maybe, check prices and shop around, see if I can get a better price on things. So the general consensus of comments was to take out the high spot and move this dirt off to the side, which after I read these comments makes sense to me. So I really want to thank everybody that watches and they leave a comment, and for the most part, most of the time they're pretty constructive and very helpful, not only to me but probably other people that have similar projects in mind. There's a wealth of knowledge out there and I always appreciate it. I read all the comments. I might not have a chance to answer all of them, but I do read all of them and they're very helpful, and thanks again for leaving them. The video doesn't do it justice, but when I'm climbing out of this little like pit area that I'm creating, it is a little steep and it does have a little bit of an angle to it. And what I mean by steep, I have my tiller all the way up, and when I back up here, you can kind of see how it bottoms out when I come back down to where the pole barn is going to be. Ouch. Alright, I got a lot of comments I think the last time I brought this up, but I got a cheap $55 laser level from Harbor Freight. It just gives me an idea and a ballpark figure about where I'm at. So it's got two levels here on the side. I've got it centered kind of where the pole barn would be in the middle, so we're only throwing a distance of about 15 to 20 feet in the corners. So on the low side, the low corner, we're at about 43.5 inches. And if I go over to my other corner, opposite corner, and I'm about 37.5. So I need to make up 6 inches still, which I should be able to do with using that recycled driveway or recycled road stone. So I appreciate everybody watching these videos. I hope you enjoy and subscribe. Hit that like button. I thought I'd combine the tiller with two different projects, so you got two different projects in one video. It's the holidays, so I'm in a giving mood. Take care, everybody, and keep an eye on us.